Hello students, welcome you all on YourPedia. So my dear students, as you know, BARC just called almost 150 students for the post of technical officers. And now in interview, what type of question they ask, what is the main subjects which you have to prepare. So in this video, I am just giving you some 5 problems with their answer. So how you have to explain those questions with the very beautiful answers. See my dear students, as you know, BARC is a prestigious institute, and whenever they just give you any problem, so first of all my simple advice to you is just think or recall all the concept related to that particular problem or that particular concept, and then just try to give the detailed information related to that questions. As you see, if I talk about the technical officers, so yes, they ask the question related to the formal definitions related to what is DB, DBMS, what is TCP/UP, difference between TCP/UP, difference between IPv4 and IPv6, what is the purpose of router, how the gateway and router are different, and then what is the different data structure, when to use which sorting technique is best, what is the use of binary search, or what is the applications of binary search. So most of the times they may ask you the question which are very basics, but yes, you have to know the logic or the concept behind that topic. So here in this video I am provide you some important problems which are going to be asked in your BARC interview. See my dear students, the first problem is, you know the stack, but can you just explain the application of stack? See my dear students, whenever we heard the word stack, we know it's a data structure which is going to store the data so such that we can access the data efficiently. Fine. Now my dear students, mainly stack behaves in the first in last out or last in first out property, and we know the basic operation, post and pop operations are the basic operations, but can you know the application of stack? Now my dear student, instead of just saying sir it is used in the recursion, we are going to use this in post fixed evolution, no, you cannot use these type of applications. Always keep in mind my dear students, whenever they ask the question related to the applications in any of the topic, you have to provide a real time application. Always keep in mind that thing. Don't do such a mistake that you just provide you just try to explain another topic in that particular application. Fine. See, first application, we know that it is used in function call management. Actually we are going to use these things in compiler in stack is used for the activation record concept. Fine. So keep in mind my dear students, the first application is function call management. Second, whenever you just open many of a tabs, or if you do the back button, the undo and redo operations is the application of stack. Next you can see, whenever you see or you want to see the history, what are the webs you just search. Fine. If you want to find out the history, that is again using the concept of stack. Next, we know expressions and memory management. In memory management, storing the local variable, storing the function call and other informations, we are going to use stack. So here now you will get a good idea about what type of application you have to give whenever someone asks you about the application of stack, queue, linked list, array, tree. Fine. Second question is from the operating system, where we use round robin scheduling. Yes, we know we have different type of scheduling technique, start from the FIFO, first in first out, or first come first serve, then SJF, SRTF, then round robin, and we know round robin is one of the important CPU scheduling technique. But what is the purpose of CPU what is the purpose of round robin? We know In round robin, we are going to use a concept called time quantum. It means each process continuously execute at most of the time equivalent to time quantum. And what is the advantage of doing this is resource sharing is easy. Suppose that one process just take or use a resource, but its CPU time or burst time or IO time is too high. Fine. In that case, another process waiting time is going to be increases. Fine. That's why you know where we use round robin scheduling applications are in time sharing mode or in time sharing system. We are going to use the concept of round robin scheduling, and this is very important problem, my dear students, because in BARC always they just try to ask, if they just go for a in depth of a particular topic, these type of problems you are going to face. Second, in computer network also we are going to use the concept of round robin. Fine. Next, in printer queue management, whenever multiple processes want to print some data, in that case also printer uses the concept of round robin. Fine. In task scheduling we know, in web server request handling we know. In load balancing, the important point is the load balancing in distributed system. That is very, very important, my dear students. We are going to use the concept of round robin. Why? Suppose that we have multiple server, and in the distributed system, if one server has a more load, then we are trying to distribute the loads. Fine. That is the concept of round robin. See, next is, we know the concept of key. What is the purpose of key? With the help of key, if we have the DB which having a key, in that case insertion, deletion and update anomalies are going to be removed. But what if we haven't any key? In that case they may ask you the question, what happen if there is no key of DB? Sir, if there is no key of DB, we are unable to maintain the data integrity. There is a chance that there may be redundancy in our data, and we are unable to identify that thing without the help of key. That's why another problems like insertion, deletion and update problem may occur, and we are unable to establish the relationship between the multiple tables if we haven't the key. And again, so indexing, because everywhere wherever we are using the concept of key, you have to use that particular concept in your answer, like in indexing, in data retrieval, in concurrency, in normalization. Fine. So these are the problems you are going to face if there is no DB, no key in your DB. Next, my dear students, a problem related to algorithm. Why insertion sort is better than merge sort for small size input? See, my dear students, we know the worst case time complexity of insertion sort is n square, but the worst case time complexity of merge sort is n log n, but still we are considering n square is better than n log n. Why? For small size input, my dear students, we know insertion sort is better than merge sort, because low overhead is there. Overhead means, see, in merge sort we required the extra space, but whereas in insertion sort there is no such things required. That's why for small size input, why we just take the extra space. And then always keep in mind the hidden constant factor, because the time complexity is not exact n log n, it is asymptotically n log n. The constant factor, the constant factor is too high in the case of merge sort for small size input than insertion sort. That's why n square is better than n log n, or I can say insertion sort is better than merge sort for small size input. And even if data is already sorted, in that case also merge sort first blindly divide the input and then perform the sorting, whereas if data is almost sorted, insertion sort just take an element and just try to perform the comparison, and most of the time it has to do only the comparison and no requirement of swap operations. That's why for small size input I can say insertion sort is better than merge sort. Next, my dear students, what is the drawback of binary search? Now everyone know what is binary search, and the basic constraint to apply the binary search is input should be in sorted order, but most of the time students don't know the drawback of binary search. See my dear students, first of all it is not suitable for the unordered list, very good, and then again in the case of linked list, even though linked list is sorted, we cannot perform the binary search, fine, because binary search just try to move on the middle element, and in linked list we cannot directly move to the middle element, we have to go via each and every node, fine. And then my dear students, the worst case complexity for unsuccessful search is log n, that is the main requirement, and binary search in sometimes very difficult for the case of you can say implementation. And one more important point I think that is not mentioned here, the point is suppose that if input has the duplicate elements and we want to search something, then we are unable to identify the duplicate element. Suppose you just take a problem where we have a sorted array, one element came 2 times and all the remaining element came 1 times. So we have to identify a element which came more than 1 time, even though input is sorted, but after finding the middle element, just comparing the neighbors of the middle element, we are unable to identify, either we have to move on the left hand side or we have to move on the right hand side. That's why my dear students, sometimes even input is sorted, we are unable to perform the binary search. It's totally depend upon the applications. These are some of the problems related to binary search. So my dear students, I try my best to take the examples, one example from all the important subjects, start from the DB to network to then that is the data structure problem, and you can see here the problem related to operating system, the problems of DB, then the problems of again algorithm, and the problems of again binary search, we can say algorithm. So my dear students, these type of questions you have to prepare, and even in the last video also I just told you, whenever you are trying to go or read any of the topic, you have to know advantage, disadvantage, applications, why such things are going to be happen, what is the power to that concept such that he is able to perform that particular or specific task. So my dear students, it's a great opportunity for all of you guys. So always keep in mind, just select at least 3 to 4 subjects of your own interest of domain, and then try to learn and try to take more or in-depth and the fundamental concept of that particular subjects. If you have still doubt, and if you want to practice for real-time scenario of interview, then you can join YourPedia BARC TO interview module. Thank you so much.